Alright, Shalom. First of all, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to your apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently pushing the word of sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to other sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this monsoon storm that leaves wake of damage across the Phoenix area. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article. Get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says monsoon storms brought much needed rain to the valley on Thursday evening, but left a mangled mess and some customers without power. Phoenix Sky Harbor got measurable rain for the first time since July 2nd. The airport has gotten 0.04 inches so far for the 2025 monsoon. Sky Harbor has received 0.20 of rain, which is well below normal. Meanwhile, Temp received 0.16 of rain, and Awataki got 0.39. The storm left a wake of damage at the Spring Haven RV Resort in Mesa, located near Greenfield Road and Main Street. Carports were torn off and destroyed, with many falling on top of parked vehicles. A similar scene was also seen next door at the San Fernando Apartments, with tenants waking up to carport damage and downed trees. Heavy winds also caused trees to split at the Los Brises condominiums near 7th Street and Northern Avenue. Arizona's family crews witnessed a large tree that split in half and landed on several vehicles. I've seen some monsoon storms come through here, but this felt like a microburst. I've just not seen this type of damage here in the 5 years I've lived here, one resident said. They were definitely high winds. I went to open my door, and the door just flew open. I knew there was wind, but I didn't know how bad it was. At the height of the storm, more than 20,000 customers from APS and SRP didn't have power. Over 300 SRP customers were still without power overnight into Friday. The thunderstorms also dropped a lot of rain in a short amount of time, it causing some standing water on Interstate 17 in central Phoenix. Strong winds were also a problem. Phoenix Sky Harbor saw wind gusts of nearly 70 miles per hour around 8:15 p.m. On Thursday night, Gold Canyon received 0.71 of rain, while Mesa got more than half an inch. Also in Gold Canyon, there were 12 power poles that went down near the US 60 and King Ranch Road. The ridge of storms made it over the Magellan Rim and brought wet weather to Apache Junction, Mesa, and Chandler first. A dust cloud was seen around 6:30 p.m. in the Southeast Valley. Gusty winds stuck around Thursday evening, causing haze for drivers. A blowing dust advisory was in effect until 9 p.m. between Phoenix and Tucson, but has since expired. Even though we will see surface moisture increasing, which will tick down our air temperatures above average daytime highs. Even though we will see surface moisture increasing, which will tick down our air temperatures above average daytime highs, will keep the metro area in the major or a high heat risk category through Saturday night, which is why we've extended our first alert weather days through Sunday night. So that means some hiking trails will remain closed in Phoenix and outdoor sports will be impacted by above average heat. Temperatures cool back to near normal on Monday, resulting in a return of widespread moderate heat risk across the region. Yeah, so a lot of judgment still going out. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And clearly, these scriptures ring true because monsoons, hurricanes, tropical storms, tornadoes, flash floods, lightning storms, these are all different things that have been taking place over the past couple of years, and they've just been increasing in frequency and in intensity over the past couple of years. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And the Lord is sending these destroying storms. Storms that cause power outages, storms that can cause flooding and damage cars and damage homes and damage people's business. Storms that can shatter windows, rip the roof or the siding off of buildings and homes. Storms that can cause major flooding in different towns and neighborhoods and on the highways and at airports. Psalms 11:6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And that's what the Lord is doing, dishing out these powerful, horrible tempests. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it means a violent windy storm, particularly in the form of hurricanes or tornadoes. But monsoons and tropical storms also fall into that category. Psalms 83:14, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's what the Heavenly Father is doing, dishing out these storms and tempests left and right, bringing heavy judgments upon these wicked countries and these wicked cities. Baruch 4:32. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And these cities are becoming more and more miserable as the judgments of the Lord increase upon them. The fires, the storms, the tempests, the earthquakes, the power outages, the violence, in the form of shootings and stabbings. A lot of people are fleeing one city and going to another because they think going to a different city will be safer. And then that city experiences its own set of miseries. So there really is no escaping it. The judgments of the Lord take place everywhere. And if you're wicked, you really can't escape it. Luke 21:22, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. And that's why there's so many destructive storms and tempests and fires and earthquakes happening. Because this is the vengeance of the Lord. This is his judgment for all the wickedness that's been taking place. Not just here in America, but all throughout the world. All the wars popping off, the shootings and the stabbings and the power outages and the food shortages and all of these other events that have been taking place. This is all the Lord's vengeance. This is his judgment and his punishment. Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hand, Higgaion Selah. And that's right, the Heavenly Father is known by his judgments. And these powerful storms and tempests, these powerful, destructive, frequent, intense, sometimes deadly storms and tempests are the judgments of the Lord. And they're only going to intensify because we are living in the last days. Second Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And with everything going on in the world currently, it's safe to say that we are in times full of danger. Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, something is happening. Some kind of judgment is taking place. And there is no escaping it. All you can do is hope and pray that the Lord has chosen you from the foundation of the world to endure unto the end and be saved. Carnal shelters are not going to save you from the Lord's wrath. Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And that's right. A prudent man, a wise man, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, is able to foresee the evil and hide himself under the hedge of protection of the Lord. But the simple pass on and are punished. And the simple are all of these people who, are atheists. They don't believe in the Lord. All these people who are just caught up in folly. They don't heed the warnings of the men of the Lord. There's a lot of people that don't want to watch the news because they say that, there's nothing good on the news. It's always something sad. So they don't even watch the news. So they really don't have any idea what's going on. Those are the people that are going to pass on and get punished because they're not going to know what's happening. So they're not going to know what to look out for. They're not watching. They're not being circumspect. They're not being wise. And those are the easiest targets because the judgments just creep up on them unaware and overtake them. But those of us of the hopeful elect have to keep in mind that the people who do get overtaken by these judgments, they were meant to get overtaken. That's why the Lord did not put a circumspect spirit on them. The Lord didn't put the spirit on them to want to know what's going on. The Lord put a simple folly spirit on them. So they were just caught up in a bunch of nonsense. And when the Lord got tired of seeing them participate in that nonsense, he sent judgment upon them. And majority of people out here are simple. You can see from the way that they act, from the way that they talk, the things that they do. You can tell that there's a lot of simple people in this world. A lot of people whom the Lord is about to pass heavy judgment upon. So what we're seeing is not anywhere near as bad as it's going to get. Because, there are still some relatively nice days where, the sky is blue and the sun is out and it's quiet outside. But there's going to come a time very soon where there's not going to be any peaceful days. It's just going to be non-stop chaos and violence and destruction and misery and death. And those times are fastly approaching. And a lot of people don't even see it coming. And that's why those of us of the hopeful elect, we have to stay prayed up. Because we know to an extent what's about to happen. And we don't want to get caught up in it. Luke 21:36, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's right. That's what us of the hopeful elect are supposed to be doing, watching and praying, hoping that the Lord accounts us worthy to escape all the tornadoes and the hurricanes and the tropical storms and the monsoons and the fires and the volcano eruptions and the earthquakes and the civil war and the race wars and, the famines and the pestilences and whatever else the Lord has in store that he's going to unleash upon this world in these last days. Because like I said earlier, there is no escaping it any other way. If the Lord has not chosen you from the foundation of the world to endure unto the end and be saved, then you're going to get destroyed. And that's it. There's only two options. You either get saved or destroyed. There is no making it out of this any other way. All of these people that think that if they have a shelter with a bunch of weapons and food and water, that that's going to keep them safe. And it's not, because that's carnal. The only one who can keep you safe from these judgments is the Heavenly Father through his Son, Yahushua. Because this is the Heavenly Father's judgment. There is nothing that you can do carnally to protect yourself from the judgment of the Lord. If the Lord wants to bring judgment upon you, then judgment is going to fall upon you no matter where you are, no matter who you are. And like it says in Romans 2 and 11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. So if there's no respect of persons with the Heavenly Father, that means men, women, and children can, do, and will be judged. So for all you sincere brothers and sisters out there, just stay prayed up, stay circumspect, you know, continue to read, continue to fast, because great destruction is on its way. And when the Lord really does open up those gates and lets that destruction loose, it's not going to slow down until the will of the Lord is fully accomplished. And in the end, millions upon millions of people are going to be dead. And there's going to be innumerable amounts of destruction. And the only ones that are going to survive that are the Lord's chosen. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. The Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.